So hey y'all, it is your girl D Jim. Jewels are expensive. That's my show. I want to entitle this I Had High Hopes. And I also want to do a little like PSA, FYI. I'm not trying to have no smoke, but I do want to talk about situations that I have within my journey. People that I encounter, I never give off names and stuff like that, or, and maliciously and vendatively, if that's a word, have anything that I'm trying to like come at somebody. But I do talk about my journey, and it involves people. So sometimes I do talk about it, and it involves people that I encounter. So I don't want anybody to feel any type of way, but I have high hopes. I recently decided to date after maybe a little over 2 years. I really wanted, what I want to say is there are red flags out there, and people have agendas, and I always talk about agendas and intentions and projections, because I think those are really things that are happening to people that other people do to you, or you do to other people. And I'm neutral. It's no wrong and right. I just feel like if it's a negative energy, then that might be wrong. But other than that, there's no wrong or right. We all have agendas. We all project what we want. And that's just a part of life. That's human behavior, right? But 3 red flags that I feel like are very important to not overlook. So I had high hopes. So like I said, I had met someone, and they were very adamant about speaking with me. I think we had talked before, and this is like maybe like a month later. They were like, "What's up? Why you ain't contacting me?" Da, 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 da. And this is just background information. So if you're interested and I hit you back, then I think you have the burden of keeping my interest. So I think that's why a month passed and I was not really hitting that person up. If I'm interested in somebody and I go in their DMs and I'm interested, I'm going to hit you with more than just good morning, king, good night, king. To me, those are just like little pleasantries that we do just to, look polite or whatever. I felt like the things that he was saying aligned with the things that I actually like. And I'm not saying that person is not that person, but there were some red flags. And I caught them very early on, but I'm a very graceful person because I'm not all together. So I don't want to seem like, if you get with me, then you gotta have X, Y, and Z. Which you do. I'm sorry. You do. But if I really like you and I really like the messages that I'm receiving and I think that we're on the same page, then I'll overlook certain things because you might be just building. You might be starting over again. I'm definitely in a start over program myself, and trying to figure out and maneuver through after COVID, which really hurt my career. It hurt everything. But the first red flag was finances and living space. So this person didn't have everything together. They at least had transportation and a job. And I think their living space was a little compromised. which I was like, okay. They were pretty open about their living space, and they were video chat, so it wasn't like they were living with a cousin or my best friend. They were living with a family member, and they were very open about it, and I was like, all right, cool, no problem. You know, I understand everybody has fallen on hard times, so that wasn't a big problem for me at the time. It became a problem later with finances, not so much the living space. And maybe a little bit of the living space, because then the person wanted to like stay overnight and stuff like that, and I don't really allow that. Especially like at my home with my children, and I just feel like you should have your own living space that I can come and visit. But also financial wise, this person like later down the line was like telling me they couldn't even take me out on a date, or like we had a whole date conversation issue. I don't want to judge people either, but you still have to have that conversation. I think, ladies, if you're looking for certain things, you still have to have a conversation that says, look, even if they don't have it at that point, this is what I expect. Now, if they got, you know, if your list is 5 and they got 3 out of 5, then that might still be negotiable. For me, I have a 3. I had a 2 out of 3 situation. So at least you have a job. You're going somewhere every day to go to work to make money, because that's what I'm doing. As well as you had transportation, because I've had people come to me and be like, well, you can come pick me up and we can go out on a date. No, I don't think that's something I want to do. We can meet there. If you want to get on the bus and meet me there, that's fine. But anyway, you have to set up what you'll accept as far as finances and living space. So I immediately said, with the first red flag, I immediately said, as far as finances and living space, if you don't have these 3 things, then that's not going to work out, because those are at least 3 things that I know that you can maintain. You know, I don't want to be at my home Netflix and chilling all the time because you don't have money to take me out on a date, or you think that's the look. It's not the look. I want to go outside. I want to go on a date. I want to be treated like a queen. And I guess a part of being treated like a queen is that person will do little things for you. And mind you, the date didn't have to be like dinner, a $200 dinner or something like that. It could have been a walk in the park. It could have been something free. I'm definitely not like digging for gold. I can take myself out. I have no problem doing that, and I do my own self-care. But if you're in a place where you can't do anything, make it exciting. Make it fun. Make it something that I'm like, all right, cool, you know what, let's do that. I'm with it. Come on, let's go. Because it's not really about the expense, it's about the time. But if it's not something that is that expensive, then you're spending time with me and we're talking, we're having conversations, we're getting to know each other, which is a big part of if I want to move forward. What I'm asking is, where's the stability at? How does that work for you? And it's minor details. Minor. For the second red flag, if you're emotionally unavailable or secretive, that doesn't tell me that you're invested. That tells me that you are just kind of a yes person, a yes man, and basically you're going to tell me everything that I want to hear. But once I hear information that you might not tell everybody, or information that you might keep to yourself, because I have information that I'm not emotionally able to let go of, or there's things that I'm just not going to tell you because, you know, at that meet and greet, the early stages of, you know, knowing a person and getting to know a person, you don't tell them everything. Another issue with the emotional unavailability and also secretiveness is ladies, you can feel the wall. You can tell when a person has a wall that's up. And that's not a bad thing. We all have walls. I do too. Don't get me wrong. But when that person, when you like with it, like you hammering that thing down, like, it's not your job to be a construction worker. It's not your job to demolition the wall. It's not your job to do that. That person has to slowly allow that wall to come down. I'm not saying completely take walls down, because we all have things that we guard. We all have things that we don't want to let out to somebody new. So another issue is, and this is under the same emotionally unavailable as well as secretive, is that person to keep you in the same loop conversation. They'll keep you in the same loop conversation. Oh, how was your day? And mind you, it's nothing wrong with courtesies, but if that's the only conversation that y'all are having, or if there's no depth to it, like we just on the surface. How was your day? Oh, it was good. X, Y, Z happened, and that's it. And then I tell you X, Y, Z happened, and then you don't got nothing to say about your day, or you don't got nothing to say about your life or anything. To me, that's a red flag. It's a red flag, because you're not only intentionally looping this conversation, is that you don't want me to know, like, what's going on with you. And I don't know why you don't want me to know. It might be just that you're very and not secretive. I was going to say secretive, but maybe you're just a quiet person, or certain things you just keep because that's who you are. You know what I mean? But you have to open up and let something out. Red flag number 3. I'm only going to talk about 3. There were others, but we won't go into those. Red flag number 3. Pettiness and arguments. And when I say arguments, it might be small little minor things that really y'all shouldn't even be arguing about, especially if you only known the person for a short period of time. So the pettiness and the arguments would start. And I really believe that this person that I was talking to and dealing with, excuse me, would make unlogical conversation. So it just made it to the point where we would have these little petty arguments. And if we're already having little petty arguments, how many more arguments are we gonna have if I keep going with you? Like, I don't think that we should be in agreement with everything, but if I have to deal with little petty stuff, then that to me is a little sketchy. And it was sketchy to me because it's like, are these arguments on purpose? Like, are you doing it because then you can deflect and not have to be emotionally available? I did. This is my problem. I looked over it. I was like, all right, maybe if I keep being the construction worker and chiseling down the wall, then I'll get true answers. That person wasn't investing in true answers to me. So they eventually was like, I got dumped. Basically, they eventually was like, you know what, I'm done. Because when you come with integrity, and this is for you ladies, when you come with integrity, you come with the real, you come with, this is what I'm not signed up for. I'm not signed up for your agendas. I'm not signed up for certain things that you feel like, you know, there's rules, there's standards, certain things that you feel like, I don't want to go that far. Will this compromise myself? And if I compromise now, will I be compromising later? Really, relationships are a negotiation of compromise. Everybody's not going to come with the same energy that you come with. Everybody's not going to come with the same convictions. They got flaws just like you got flaws. But if y'all can meet in the middle with all the flaws, with all the information that you need, then it could work. If you're signed up for that. Because people will sell you this whole fantasy dream, and then, like, for me, I chisel away at things. So I'm looking at your character, I'm looking at certain things, I'm looking at a lot of stuff and saying, like, you might not think I'm looking at it, but I look at it. Do that, but I base it off my experience in the past, so I base it off of like what I'm looking for and what I'm trying to achieve. And if it doesn't line up, then that's when I'm like, I don't know. So I got dumped. I basically got dumped because, you know, I expect certain things and I wasn't getting that. And then when I would chisel away at why or what's going on, that person was unemotionally available. They were secretive, and that shut that person down. And they felt like that was the best decision for them. And it probably was the best decision that he made for both of us. I have to respect that and continue to move forward with my life. It's not going to stop. My life's not going to stop because you said I'm done. All right, cool. You probably saving me from some stuff I don't want to have to deal with later on either. So, 3 red flags. Excuse me. Cold. 3 red flags. Number 1, finances and living space. Number 2, unemotionally available and secretive. And number 3, pettiness and arguments. Those are my 3. There are plenty more. And each situation is different. And I also got dumped. What? I think I'll be okay. But anyway, this is your girl D Gem. Jewels are expensive. Please, 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 can you like, share, subscribe, and comment? I would love to hear feedback. I would love to hear that men expect women to have a great living space as well as finances too. I didn't include that because I thought women are the ones that, you know, don't really have to have nothing. In you know, it's harder for a man that doesn't have anything going on, No woman's looking at that, but a man looking at women, they don't expect them to have it. So I was wondering if men expected anything of a woman, and like what that was. So please like, share, subscribe, and comment so I can get some bird eye view, a point of view, a pivot point in my life that be like, okay, these men out here, you know what I'm saying? And it's, please don't put in there, well, she gotta have a big ass and a Coke bottle figure, because I ain't got one of them. But I got a good heart. I'll help take care of you, make sure you good if we get to that point. But I'm not gonna do that if I don't feel like it's necessary or if it's not going anywhere. So your girl D Jam, jewels are expensive. I'm gonna talk to y'all soon. Peace out.